Hi, I'm Lee Brkeem with Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We have a great lineup tonight. Don Green, the head basketball coach. Yeah, that's right, basketball coach at Baton Rouge Community College, BRCC here, one of the great coaches. He's from Monroe, Louisiana, went to Carroll High School. We've got some great basketball players to come out of the Monroe area over the years. We also have Matt McCullough, state championship head football coach from Acadiana High School, and two of his top senior players that are going to Army. They're both going to West Point. We're going to introduce those young men later in the show. And we have a call in from the head coach, Coach Brotherton from Haughton High School in Shreveport. We'll be right back.
Hey architects, Toyota's earned KBB's 2018 Best Resale Value for the third year in a row. Consider a new Camry or Corolla. On sale now at John Harvey Toyota.
Save every day on our huge selection at Bears Town & Country. Your one-stop shop for great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. For work, play, or luxury, nothing beats a Ram truck. Our new Jeep lineup is better than ever. If you want more choices, low prices, and a sales team that is always ready to deal, come see us. Family owned, customer driven. Bears Town & Country, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygrangerford.com and come see us on the bypass in Acadiana.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright Team, the Wright Group.
Welcome back. I want to thank Highland Road Superior Grill, fabulous Mexican dining. They've been a supporter of our magazine, Louisiana Football, since 1996. I want to thank Bob Kershoff and his family. Highland Road's their new location. They also have Government Street, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and also in Shreveport on Line Avenue. I've been there a few times in Shreveport, Superior Grill. Make sure you support them. They support high school and college athletics heavily. Before we introduce our first guest, I want to talk about our first guest, Don Green, who's the head basketball coach at Baton Rouge Community College here in Baton Rouge. And before that, he was a long-time high school basketball coach in Baton Rouge. Parkview Baptist won 7 state championships. In his career, prior to coaching in junior college, he had 14 Division I players in his career. Went to Carroll High School in Monroe. I'm familiar with Carroll. I've been to Carroll a few times for football. I mean, they've got great programs in Monroe. They got Wassman. You've got Ouachita High School where Don Redden went to school. You know, you've had Willis Reed came out of North Louisiana. Benoit Benjamin that went to Creighton. Carl the mailman Malone is from North Louisiana. I mean, just such a great group of guys that have been in that area. And also Rayville. The great Hayes. Elvin Hayes. Mm-hmm. Glad to have you, Coach Green.
Pleasure being here.
I mean, this is the first time we've had anybody from Baton Rouge Community College on the show, and I'm proud to say that we're starting with the basketball coach.
Well, yeah, you're right. This has been our first opportunity, and we've got a lot we think we have to offer at BRCC from all of our coaches and all of our staff, and also but what we do educationally. So we're excited to have this opportunity.
Prior to your long career in high school basketball at Parkview Baptist, Coach, you had some great teams at Parkview, some great players. You've coached a lot of great players. You won 7 state titles, 25 playoff appearances. It's an incredible resume, 4-time state coach of the year in Louisiana. Once upon a time, you were going to Carroll High School in Monroe before all this happened. And you signed with LSU and Dale Brown. Tell everybody what it was like going back in time, being from Monroe, and what led you to LSU.
You want the truth or you want the?
I want the, yeah.
When I played in high school, I played at Carroll High School, and I was on a team that had 3 guys who were all-state and really, really great players. And my job was really just to facilitate, what the team needed. So when I left high school, I had no ambition to play college basketball at all. And the reason why I came to LSU was because that's where my girlfriend went to school, who's now my wife.
That usually helps.
Yeah, so I went there and was there for 4 years. And in my 5th year, I felt the Lord kind of telling me, you've always wanted to do this. So now the opportunity came about. One of their players was ineligible, long story short. So I tried out, and things went well for me. And I got the opportunity to see a lot of great things and to be, I think, with one of the best human beings I ever could have been around, which is Coach Brown.
Yeah, Dale is a great person. We've had him on, luckily twice, and I don't know if I know a smarter person.
He's
global.
smart because he consumes knowledge.
Knowledge
He's
is
a
power.
great reader, and he always kept saying that to us, that you're not what you read is who you are. And so we got that opportunity to learn a lot from him, and I still use that today. I just completed my doctorate degree, and I told him about it, and he's just as happy for me as I am for myself.
I remember as a 7-year-old, just growing up watching the '81 team with Rudy Macklin and Jordy Holtberg and Cookie Man Cook and Ethan Martin and all the Leonard Mitchell, all the great players that were on that team, and just going to the camp. I found out a couple of Kentucky players were going to be there teaching free throws. One of the famous 2 guards, actually, Kyle Macy, was one of the instructors. Who, if you don't know who Kyle Macy is, he was one of the great players in the late '70s, early '80s. But just being there, and Dale Brown was the first coach that I really knew of before, maybe Charlie Mack, growing up in Baton Rouge, and the impression that he made on me. And I mean, I just went to a camp. I didn't play at LSU or anything like that, but for a 7-year-old, almost 8, you hear him talk to everybody at the camp, and you're like, where are we going? I mean, did we get on a plane? I mean, did we go play in China? We're going, So, but he was powerful and you could tell as a recruiter, incredible. But so now you had this long basketball career, Coach, high school basketball at Parkview, mostly at Parkview, and what was that like for you as a coach and before moving up to college?
Well, I first started off coaching at Bethany Christian in Baker, and then I went over to Parkview, and both places provided me a lot of encouraging opportunities, but Parkview sort of crystallized what I wanted to do. It made me really fully understand that maybe this was something I could do and do well. And so with that opportunity, it gave me the foundation to be able to move at even a higher level, because really at the end of the day, it's really all about one thing, and that's what we do for our students. Yeah. And so that opportunity at Bethany, crystallization at Parkview, and now at BRCC, it's the same model. What are you doing for your student athletes, and how do you make them better citizens? How do you make them productive citizens? And then the way you do it is you can do it through the avenue of basketball.
And I want to mention this so we get it correct. 7 national Christian school championships, 6 state championships. All of them are special, right, Coach?
Every one of them are, because of who you dealt with. From your administration, your teachers, and most of all your student athletes and parents.
Different teams every year.
Different teams, different people, different opportunities, but the same result, and not so much the championships. I mean, winning and losing will take care of itself. We were more interested in what do we do with the person. The player is inside that person, and I think if you treat that guy right or that young lady right, because I also coached girls at one point too, they become who you think they can be, which is, again, productive, someone that can really go out and have great families.
Coach, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to bring on the head coach from Acadiana High School. They won the state championship this year in Class 5A on the public side. What a great year for the Wreckin Rams. And we're going to bring Coach Green back. We're going to have Coach Green and Coach McCullough. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygranger.com and come see us at 1010 Shreveport Barksdale Highway in Shreve City.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
You've got a lot of options when it comes to cars, but not when it comes to safety, savings, and resale value. Consider the brand that has it all. Shop our new Toyota sedans at John Harvey Toyota.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright Team, the Wright Group.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygrangerford.com and come see us on the bypass in Acadiana.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
Hey Architects, Toyota's earned KBB's 2018 Best Resale Value for the third year in a row. Consider a new Camry or Corolla. On sale now at John Harvey Toyota.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. Be sure to go to our website at lafootballmagazine.com. We still have magazines from this past year that went out in July. Your kid could be in there if you're a first-time viewer. Also, our podcast. Be sure to check out our first podcast, which has Dale Brown on it, the legendary head coach, former LSU head basketball coach. Donnie Jones, the former punter with the Eagles and LSU. We got a coach call in called Chalk Talk with Coach Rodney Ginn from Calvary Baptist. He coached Dak Prescott at Haughton High School, but the podcast is called Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burkeen. And be sure to go to our website. All the details are there. It's a podcast, not video, but audio. It's an hour and 15, hour and 16 minutes. We're going to do one every week, and we're going to have some commercials on it on the show in the future. You'll love it. It's like a radio show, but it's the segments. We have more segments, more guests, and more other sports, more baseball, more basketball. So check that out. And I want to go ahead, before we introduce our second guest, is Matt McCullough, the current head coach from Acadiana High School. They're the state champions this year in Class 5A on the public side. They beat Destrehan, and they only gave up 12 points a game. Incredible. I mean, who does that in today's era with all these spread offenses? They played Zachary. They beat Zachary in the semis. They beat Ruston. They beat a good Benton. They scored 78 points. Coach, that's basketball points, Coach Green. That's 78 against Benton. They had 3 games over 75 points on the season. What an incredible year. Coach, congratulations, man. I mean,
Thank you for having me.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What are you thinking before this year? Because in 18, your first year as the head coach, 11-3. That's pretty good. I mean, quarterfinals, it'd been a while. Got all these Class 5A public schools that are just strong. I mean, there's a lot of great defenses, a lot of big teams, a lot of speed. This year, 15-0 in one of the toughest districts. You got to beat a Zachary to get there, who's won 2 state championships in 3 years. You had to beat a good airline. You won that 34-7. Shut out Walker, who's got Brian Thomas and a lot of good players there, 49-0. 78-28 to start the playoffs.
Yeah, we knew we had a lot of guys coming back. We felt like we were experienced. We were experienced on defense even though we've got a lot of those guys coming back again. We had like 6 sophomores that started the year before. So, the expectations were that we were going to try to compete and have a chance to win the state championship. But we knew that we had a good nucleus coming back and we'd have a shot to compete and win every game that we played.
Matt, we've got 2 of your offensive skill guys that I know you probably wish you had another year from them.
Yeah, they were great for us this year. Yeah, both of them. They're both going off to West Point, and I think they're going to do tremendous over there. But that'll be the biggest thing for us is our backfield. We've got some guys back pretty much everywhere else. The backfield and then the quarterback position are going to be big for us in the spring and then coming into next year.
Dillan Monette's going to come on later, who had a great career for you, and Lucky Brooks, a really good running back. Both are going to West Point and Army seniors, but averaged 49 points a game, Coach.
Yeah, you know, we did a good job of executing. You know, up front, we got better as the season went, and of course, we have really good running backs. You know, we had a third running back, a Zeno kid that rushed for over 1,000, and then Keontae, our quarterback, Keontae Williams, did a tremendous job of running the offense and being able to throw some passes when we needed and pitch the football. So
I didn't know this till today, but Keontae Williams' dad is Keelan Williams. I didn't know that.
yes.
Because of Northside High School.
His father, and we actually have another Williams that's a freshman. It's Keontae's little brother is a running back, so we've got a couple of them. But yeah, his father was a tremendous football player, of course, at LSU, and then played in the NFL for a few years.
Your dad, Scott McCullough, great man. I remember going to Acadiana games 15 years ago. He was coaching with Ted Davis, and your dad was the baseball coach at Acadiana, and one of the most highly regarded baseball coaches, still coaching at Ascension Episcopal. But talk about your dad, Scott, and how much of an impact he had on your coaching career. You were a quarterback at Acadiana.
Yeah, well, he coached me. He actually was the backfield coach for Acadiana for a long time and helped with Coach Davison to run the offense. And then, of course, in baseball, he was the head coach for a long time. You know, he's been doing it forever. He's still doing that at Ascension Episcopal.
Loves it, though. Huh?
Yeah, he loves it. So he, big influence, of course. You know, I grew up. He started at Acadiana the year I was born, 1981. So I was around Acadiana,
Man,
of
I'm
course,
getting
my
old.
whole life. So yeah, he's still doing it. He still loved it. And, of course, he was a gigantic impact on me going into coaching.
Your dad coached from 81 to 2014. That's an incredible run. He's been at Ascension Episcopal, I think, since.
He's been there since, yeah. He hadn't been off.
And then they have a chance to do great things next year with the big senior group coming
Yeah,
back.
they've been good in football. They went to the state championship game one year. And then they won the baseball state championship a few years back, and I think they got beat in the finals last year. So, no, they're good in both sports that he's coaching right now, too.
Any pointers from Dad, like text or anything from him? Like,
Yeah, especially when they got knocked out the playoffs this year early. So, yeah, he would always call me and say a few things.
I was talking to you off set about my favorite ex-Acadiana football player of all time. I like, Ollie Broussard went to LSU. Running back, because I went to the game where he played Justin Vincent at Barb. That was a heck of a game. But I like Wilfred Jurnett, the DN. I thought Wilfred was one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was a tremendous player. We've had a bunch over the years, a bunch of running backs, a bunch of different guys. But there's been a lot of really good players come through Acadiana. I think Jacob Cotrere was the only one that went to the NFL, but we had a bunch of them that had great college careers. So we
had a punter at Alabama and start.
A punter at Alabama.
Kicker at LSU.
Kicker at LSU. You had a few running backs. Troy Jones went to A&M, and Junior Starrell went to LSU. But we've also had Micah Eugene had a great career. We've had a lot of really good players over the years at Acadiana.
I think Micah finished at your alma mater, Southeastern.
He ended up finishing up at Southeastern.
A lot of people don't know you're a line.
That's right. Yep, I went to Southeastern. I played baseball actually at Southeastern.
We're going to take a break, Coach. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Coach Don Green. We're going to have more with Matt McCullough. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright team, the Wright Group.
Hey architects, Toyota's earned KBB's 2018 Best Resale Value for the third year in a row. Consider a new Camry or Corolla. On sale now at John Harvey Toyota.
Save every day on our huge selection at Bears Down and Country. Your one-stop shop for great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. For work, play, or luxury, nothing beats a Ram truck. Our new Jeep lineup is better than ever. If you want more choices, low prices, and a sales team that is always ready to deal, come see us. Family owned, customer driven. Bears Town and Country, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygrangerford.com and come see us on the bypass in Acadiana.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright Team, the Wright Group.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We've got some footage. We're gonna show Acadiana after this, but to start out, Baton Rouge Community College. We got some basketball footage on Coach Don Green's team. Don, take us through what we're seeing here, and this is your team. Man, that's a great place to play. I mean, it's a great gym.
And the hope is to have fans come out. And what you're seeing is just some of the highlights that some of our guys are able to do. From finishing, whether it's three-pointers, finishing off the front.
That's a good three.
So we have some young men out there that are really talented and are worthy of fans coming to see them play.
And your opponents, I mean, there's some big guys, some very gifted players in your league.
Yeah, when you talk about junior college, you know, you have a range of kids from, 18, 19 to 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
And then you have Division I transfers, Division II transfers. So every night it's an opportunity to show what you have.
Coach, promote to the people watching that might want to go to a game. You're not just playing games at night, right? You have day games too, or all night games?
Once we enter conference play, every Saturday when we play at home, it's a 4 o'clock game. The women play at 2 and we play at 4.
Okay, and tickets, they can just go call the school to get tickets? Or
yeah, just come to the ticket booth at the school, yes.
And if there's a potential recruit, maybe somebody watching that's 6'11" or 6 foot tall that can play, how do they get in touch with the school to come get an unofficial visit maybe? Yeah, well, obviously they can reach me through our website, our email website that's on the school. His main website, and they can call the school, call the athletic department. We love to be able to visit with them. It looks like your team can run and gun a little bit. What is your background, Coach? What do you like to do more, offensively, defensively? What is your
I like to win.
Like Coach,
and what we do is, we like to play inside out, which means we like to have a presence in and around the goal, which opens the rest of the floor. And our basic philosophy is, you got to make layups and free throws. Whoever makes the most of those probably is going to have the best chance at winning.
Matt, can you do any of this? Can you
play a little basketball? Nah, it's been a while.
These guys look like they know what they're doing. I mean, I didn't see many missed shots. All the slush.
That's the beauty of a highlight.
That's the beauty of the highlight, right? And they run the court well, though. That's something that's on film.
We do.
I saw some 6'8", 6'9" guys in that film.
We do. And we just have a variety of young men that are from in and around our state that we hope that can help support and to be a good representation of what we're about.
Coach, I'm familiar with the junior college system through football, but tell us about, if someone's listening, watching, mom, dad, or potential student athlete. I know it can be a 2-year or a 3-year. You can sit out a year, you can still get maybe 3 years total, but some mostly go 2 years, right?
Correct. You have 2 years to play, and whether that's 2 consecutive or 2 overall, you have 2 years to be able to compete as a student athlete in junior college. And the thing that we love about what we do at BRCC, as we talked about earlier, being in the Mid-City, we are in between 2 great universities. You have LSU and Southern. And we have relationships with both schools. So if a guy that's his hope, is to be able to play at that level, we think that we're able to help him get to that point.
Well, I'm hoping we can help a lot. I know we will, because the show goes statewide and local, and it just takes one recruit saying, hey, I can stay in Louisiana and play my basketball.
Our food's better.
The food's better, right, right. Coach McCullough, we have some highlights turning back to football of your team. This past year, we're going to get that up. But your team had a phenomenal year, like we said, 49 points a game average. Only gave up 12 points a game. on defense. Talk about some of your young defensive guys coming back. Figaro is coming back. His dad, Cedric, played for Notre Dame. You've got a great DB coming back, Ian Muntz, who's a good baseball player, you told me also. For the future.
We've got some good guys. I mean, of course, Theos was the MVP in our district on defense. He was a tremendous player for us. But, you know, some points during the playoffs, we got about 10 guys coming back on defense. We probably rotated in about 13 or 14 guys that played throughout the year, but there was points late in the year and deep in the playoffs where we had 10 underclassmen playing. So we got a bunch of guys. You got Cameron George is coming back, who his brother played at A&M. We've got a bunch of Georges that can play. Of course, Theos, and his dad's actually our D-line coach.
Bob's coming, Adam Bob, somewhere in that family.
Walter Bob,
Walter
he's a sophomore DN that played a bunch for us. We've got 2 linebackers that were both all-district, Arsenault kid and Bercier kid that both had great years for us. And then, of course, Muntz, who is committed to UL in baseball, but we had 2 sophomores starting in the secondary, actually 3 at some points late in the year. So we've got a bunch of guys coming back on defense, so we ought to have a chance to be pretty good next year on defense again.
We're trying to get the film up, so see if we can get the film for Acadiana. We'll have it up. Here we go, Coach. This is, again, every week's a tough game, and that's the speed of your team. You had a lot of speed. This is Monette.
Yeah, Dillan had a tremendous season. He broke the single-season record for us at Acadiana. Of course, he also broke the all-time record.
Over 5,000 yards.
Yeah, over 5,500 yards.
I think West Point's going to enjoy having him and Lucky Brooks.
Him and Lucky, yes.
This is another game. It looks turf field here, and you know,
it's early in the year. That's the jamboree.
You don't see Acadiana throw it a lot, but when you do, hey, it works.
Our quarterback, Keontae, did a tremendous job this year for us, running the option game and then making some big passes when we needed it.
Looks Barb High School here in blue. Again, another keeper, Keontae, and it was like another running back for you, Coach.
Yeah,
with
that's
Brooks,
Lucky right there.
Brooks.
Yeah, Lucky on the outside on a veer.
And again, talk about the unique O-line, the way they get in their stance before the snap. I mean, that was started by Coach Davidson.
Yeah, that's something we've always done. I mean, it's just our cadence, you know, the way we call the snap. But you know, we get down and then we come off the ball. Just the way we say our snap count.
I mean, he's a very underrated passer this past year, Keontae.
Yeah, he threw the ball well. You know, he's only had 1 interception in the last 2 years, and actually was in a state championship game on something that was probably my fault. But he threw the ball well. You know, he completed about 70% of the passes he threw and had a bunch of touchdowns.
But the big play is really good for high school football. I mean, these long runs got to make you sleep good at night as a coach. You know, getting some quick points.
Yeah, any way we can get in the end zone makes me happy. Yeah, so.
You know, Acadiana, you'll be in the thick of it again next year. Obviously, they'll have probably your school as the favorite to go back and repeat, but that's always pressure. It's good pressure, though, right, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, look, we expect to win every game we play, so we're going out there, and our kids expect it to. You know, we know it's going to be tough. There's a lot of good football in Class 5A. There's a lot of good teams. So we got some experience back again. Key is going to be the backfield. You know, we lost our quarterback and we lost 2 of our backs. So, of course, that's going to be the key. But good news is we do have experience at a lot of other spots on the field.
Being very modest, he's 26-3 in 2 years with a state championship. Congratulations, Coach, on that.
Appreciate it.
And we're going to bring our coaches back. We're going to be joined by the head coach, our head coach at Haughton High School, who's, if you've ever heard of Haughton, that's where Dak Prescott played. But they had a great year as well. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Save every day on our huge selection at Bears Down and Country. Your one-stop shop for great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. For work, play, or luxury, nothing beats a Ram truck. Our new Jeep lineup is better than ever. If you want more choices, low prices, and a sales team that is always ready to deal, come see us. Family owned, customer driven. Bears Town and Country, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright team, the Wright Group.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygranger.com and come see us at 1010 Shreveport Barksdale Highway in Shreve City.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
You've got a lot of options when it comes to cars, but not when it comes to safety, savings, and resale value. Consider the brand that has it all. Shop our new Toyota sedans at John Harvey Toyota.
Save every day on our huge selection at Bears Down and Country. Your one-stop shop for great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. For work, play, or luxury, nothing beats a Ram truck. Our new Jeep lineup is better than ever. If you want more choices, low prices, and a sales team that is always ready to deal, come see us. Family owned, customer driven. Bears Down and Country, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Welcome back, Lieber Keene, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. I don't know, maybe we might have a ghost in the studio there a little bit. We got the sound right. But before we go to our coach at Haughton, before that happens, we're going to talk to Coach Don Green a little bit later in the show about the talent in Louisiana for basketball. You know, if you're not a Parade All-American or you don't go to play in the McDonald's game, they just say, well, it's off. I don't think it's off. You can count every year there's a couple of big-time players coming out of the state. Every year. There's no drop-offs. They might go out of state, but there's always 2 or 3 every year in Louisiana. That's just my thoughts watching what I know. I watch football like a crazy man every week, but talents. There's no Carl Malone's coming out, but I wanted to go ahead and introduce our head football coach, Jason Brotherton from Haughton High School. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You joined Coach with Don Green, the head basketball coach at Baton Rouge Community College, and also Matt McCullough from Acadiana High School, Class 5A champs. And Coach, Coach, you had a great year this past year at Haughton. Won a lot of games, won 11 games, and what a phenomenal season with C.J. McWilliams. And you had a really good quarterback, and you got some talent coming back. I also like Kalen Chappell, your DN that's a senior. I thought he was underrated. But what do you think of this past year and where you're heading with a lot of young talent coming back?
You know, we're excited. We feel like we've laid a good foundation the last few years, kind of built towards this senior class we had this year was very talented. But we got a lot of good players coming back. All of our linebackers, we got 4 linebackers coming in, so they're all played, so we're excited about that. We've got a quarterback back. So, I understand so much. You got the sugar man, you got a champ. And him back for us next year, so we're excited to see what we can build around him.
Yeah, Coach Stovall's a really good quarterback for you. I know they're baseball players. Coach, Matt McCullough's a big baseball player, and I know a lot of your guys are going to go off and play. I think C.J. McWilliams committed to Louisiana Tech in baseball. Is that right?
He was a football commit, but he's going to play both.
Matt, you can do both, right, in college?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's tough, but those guys that are good athletes like that, they can do both.
Yeah, Matt was a baseball player at Southeastern, coach, the head coach at Acadiana. But any thoughts about next year and the team coming back? Talk about a tough district you play in. There's no easy games.
No, there's not. That's that's what makes 5A football fun. Every game's a big game. The teams in our parents in our district, so we're big rivals with Airline and Parkway and Benton, and then Shreve's gotten a lot better, and we've got both in the district. It's always good. So I think every game's a big game, and I literally think looking at next year, I could see any one of 4 or 5 teams winning the district, and we're happy to think we're in that mix. And if we play well, we think we're going to have a chance. But I can see several of those teams being better next year than they were this year. And then, there's probably some that are trending downward. If you ask other people, they're probably going to look us into that category as a trending back downward team. And we don't think that. So we know what we have coming back. It's not as flashy as we've been. There's no Dennis Williams, Tristan Sweeney, and some of those skill guys. But we're going to be good this year, and we're going to be good. Like I said, our linebackers are all back. So, we're excited about that.
Coach, good luck to you, and thanks for taking the time to call in. And I know Haughton will have a good year this coming year again. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Thank you. And they also lose a receiver this year, Tristan Sweeney, has caught almost 200 passes in his career wide out. I think he's a sleeper. I think he's a D1 player, 6 foot tall, about 210, and can run, Coach. Big, tough. Reminds me of Wesley Jacob from the past at Crowley High School.
Yeah, I watched them on film against Destrehan. They had some players and they did a good job. That was a good football game.
Got some good talent coming back. There's a lot of talent in that Shreveport-Bossier area that comes out that's underrated. I want to switch gears back to Coach Don Green. And Coach, I've heard a few people nationally say Louisiana talent is down. People that are not from here, some analysts. Do you believe that? Not believe it? I don't think the talent's down in the state basketball-wise.
Well, when they compare it maybe to what has traditionally come out of Louisiana, I think that's a poor comparison because kids change, styles of play changes. And I just think that, when you go nationwide, people love to recruit Louisiana because the Louisiana kid has such a drive or such a determination that sometimes you don't find a lot in a lot of different places. So comparatively speaking, maybe they're right, but overall, I wouldn't agree with that at all.
Yeah, Will Wade signing one player a year from Louisiana, and the same year he signs a player, Josh LeBlanc goes to Georgetown.
Mm-hmm.
So you got 2 big-time recruits. Now Josh is coming back to LSU. You had Galen Alexander come out of Breaux Bridge. He was at Georgetown. Mm-hmm. But you've had a lot of talent come out that's under the radar. They had a kid from John Ehret go to UL that had a great career that's now in the NBA, a guard from New Orleans that wasn't heavily recruited. But right. I think you're right, Coach. They're underestimating without the stars by these names. And then these kids make it. You can see, if you count the number of NBA natives that are from Louisiana, look at Garrett Temple, who wasn't highly recruited, but he wouldn't be put in that Parade All-American category. But who cares? He's now, 8 years in the NBA?
Yes, 8 years in the NBA and one of the greatest spokesmen for the NBA. You look at Garrett, and I know him personally, when you look at him and what he represents, he represents his family well, he represents the state of Louisiana well, and he represents himself. So, we produce those type of student athletes that I think, as you said, people somewhat overlook because they've got to be able to see the whole picture.
It's always been that way because Carl Malone went to a Class B or C school, school with under 100 kids in it in North Louisiana. And everybody said, who's this 6'9", skinny guy? Well, the rest is history, right? Hall of Famer. Goes to Louisiana Tech, has a long career with John Stockton with Utah. We'll be right back. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine.
You've got a lot of options when it comes to cars, but not when it comes to safety, savings, and resale value. Consider the brand that has it all. Shop our new Toyota sedans at John Harvey Toyota.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright team, the Wright Group.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygrangerford.com and come see us on the bypass in Acadiana.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
Hey Architects, Toyota's earned KBB's 2018 Best Resale Value for the 3rd year in a row. Consider a new Camry or Corolla. On sale now at John Harvey Toyota.
Save every day on our huge selection at Bears Down and Country. Your one-stop shop for great deals on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles. For work, play, or luxury, nothing beats a Ram truck. Our new Jeep lineup is better than ever. If you want more choices, low prices, and a sales team that is always ready to deal, come see us. Family owned, customer driven. Bears Town and Country, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygrangerford.com and come see us on the bypass in Acadiana.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
Welcome back, Lieber King, Louisiana Football Magazine. We have one more segment with our coaches, and in the final segment, we're going to have Dillan Monette and also Lucky Brooks. Both kids are seniors at Acadiana and going to Army, West Point. Man, that's a big deal. And I don't remember two kids on one high school team in Louisiana signing with West Point in the same class. That's special, Coach.
Yeah, they're high character kids, you know, and it's even more special. They both play the same position, they're running backs. So, you know, I'm proud of them, and they had a great year this year, and it's well deserved.
Talk about some of the other schools, Coach, in your area. I mean, St. Thomas More looks like they're getting better and better every year. It's not going to decline anytime soon.
There's good football in Lafayette. You know, there was 3 state champions in Lafayette this year. LCA, Lafayette Christian won, St. Thomas More and us, and then Karen Crow got beat in the quarters by Warren Eastern.
Como had a good team.
Como had a real good team, got beat in the second round by Haughton.
Notre Dame was good
Notre
again.
Dame's always good. So, no, Acadiana area and Lafayette, there's a lot of good football teams in that area. So, you know, sometimes it gets overlooked a little bit around the state, but Lafayette has a lot of good football players.
Even the New Iberia area, Catholic New Iberia has been really good in the last 5 years.
Been good. Westgate had a good year this year. I think they got beat in the second or third round by Neville.
What do they call New Iberia? Nish?
Nish, you know, I thought Nish was better, and I think they're going to have a chance to be pretty good the next couple of years.
And then you throw in the Church Points, the Rains, the Crowleys, the Opelousas Highs, and you go toward Morgan City, Central Catholic. Just talent everywhere, Coach.
Yeah, a lot of good football teams in the area. You know, even Ascension Episcopal, where my dad's at, has had some really good players and has some good teams. So, no, Lafayette area and then the surrounding areas, of course, a lot of good football teams.
Would you like to see everybody be in the Dome, one family next year? If it was
Yeah,
up to
I
you?
would like that. I think that's something that they're pushing for. I'd like to see us all come back together, honestly. So we'll see how it goes. You know, I don't think coming back together will be to the following year because of redistrict. But I think that they're gonna be able to find a way to get everybody back in the Superdome next year.
I can't leave out my friends in Laurelville. They also have a good program.
Yeah, they do. They had a good year this year.
A town of only 600 people. Unbelievable what they do in a small town in the middle of like New Iberia and that little area there, right in its own area. But actually, I think one of their kids is going to Southeastern, the quarterback.
He is. I saw him in the
Southeastern.
All-Star game playing some receiver. He's a really good athlete. He's going to be a real good player over there at Southeastern.
Coach, who was the best team, not in Lafayette or Lafayette proper, that you played this past year, besides Destrehan, the state runner-up?
Probably Zachary. I mean, Zachary, you know, physical. They play. I mean, they've been, of course, they were the 2-time defending state champion. You know, we played some other good football teams, but you know, that was a real physical, tough game in the semifinals. And I mean, they're coached well. They've got good players, and besides, you know, they're probably the best team we played.
Don, speaking of your competition, name some teams that are really talented that you play. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
At one point, and they still may be ranked in the top 10 in the country in junior colleges. Played them. Your traditional schools like Holmes are always good, and Mississippi is just full stocked with very good junior colleges.
They've had like a 30-year head start too.
They have.
I've been doing this for
Even more so. You've had some schools that are 100+ years old.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And you know, compared to us, we're 20. So you know, it's a good opportunity.
Can you get into these Pensacola junior colleges to come to Baton Rouge and play?
Actually, we're going to schedule some of those next year.
Because those are the guys, some of them that are signing now up that side of the country. I know LSU signed a couple from over one of those schools in Pensacola.
That's correct.
Daytona's got one.
Yeah. And in fact, Butch Pierre, one of the former coaches at LSU, is a JC coach down in Florida. So it's they've got good talent and good coaching.
Coach, promote what's coming up for legendary Dale Brown. Promote and tell everybody what's coming up. How can they know about what y'all going to honor Coach Brown?
We are on February 1st, which is Saturday, 2 weeks from now. We're going to have Coach Brown on our campus be able to say thank you for his contributions to basketball in this state. We're playing LSU Eunice, who just started their men's program last year, and ours is 10 years old. So we kind of think that if it wasn't for what he did early in his career at LSU, basketball would not have a lot of relevance. But it does, and I think a lot of that is attributed to him. So on February 1st, 4 o'clock afternoon game we're playing LSU Eunice. We're going to bring Coach to campus and honor him for his contributions for what he's done for the state of Louisiana.
And Matt, speaking of LSU Eunice, you're a big baseball guy too. That's a heck of a program in baseball.
Yeah, they're really good in baseball. We actually have 3 guys that are playing over there right now from Acadiana, Hunter Tabb, Bo Kirsch, and Cole Romero, that were good players for us at Acadiana. So.
What's been the formula for LSU Eunice being nationally ranked 1 or 2 every year?
Well, I think they do a good job of recruiting. Of course, they go out and try to get the best players, and then they do a good job of coaching over there. So
it's going to be a good rivalry for coaching basketball. That's going to help basketball, I think.
Yeah, that's what we hope.
I didn't even know they didn't have, quote, a basketball team. I thought they had one.
They didn't. They've had a women's program for quite a while, and of course the baseball program has been outstanding. But they just started their men's program last year.
And I look at the roster at LSU Eunice, Coach McCullough, and when you're getting people from Canada to be on your team, word's out.
Yeah, they've been good for a while, and they do a good job of recruiting the state too. I mean, they get some really good players from the state, and they're going to compete every year in baseball-wise.
Matt, any final thoughts on your team that might watch this week? When does spring start? Everybody needs to get ready.
Yeah, we just started off season, trying to get ourselves ready. We start spring not till May, and the biggest thing is get ourselves ready and have a good off season and get ready to go for next season.
Inter-squad spring game, or do you have an opponent?
We usually play Bro Bridge, but they played in the state tournament in baseball last year, so we had the inter-squad, so we'll see. They're probably good in baseball again, so it kind of depends on that with them.
Don't want to leave out Cecilia, too. We didn't talk about Cecilia earlier. They got a good team.
And Bro
Coach,
Bridge.
Tell everybody about your season. When does it start? When does it end?
We start conference season this Wednesday. We travel to LSU Eunice, and then every Wednesday, Saturday, we'll either be playing at home or on the road somewhere.
Guys, don't leave. We got gifts for you. We got one more segment with the kids from Acadiana. Lucky Brooks, Dillan Monette, both running backs, both going Army. West Point, we'll be right back in just a moment.
Hey Architects, Toyota's earned KBB's 2018 Best Resale Value for the 3rd year in a row. Consider a new Camry or Corolla. On sale now at John Harvey Toyota.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The right team, the Wright Group.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygrangerford.com and come see us on the bypass in Acadiana.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
You've got a lot of options when it comes to cars, but not when it comes to safety, savings, and resale value. Consider the brand that has it all. Shop our new Toyota sedans at John Harvey Toyota.
Bigger selection, better prices, and the best car buying experience you'll ever have. That's the Granger guarantee. Find your next car or truck today at jimmygranger.com and come see us at 1010 Shreveport-Barksdale Highway in Shreve City.
It's a cool place to buy a car.
Hey Architects, Toyota's earned KBB's 2018 Best Resale Value for the 3rd year in a row. Consider a new Camry or Corolla. On sale now at John Harvey Toyota.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright Team, the Wright Group.
Welcome back to Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football Magazine. I want to introduce our two guests, two big-time football players from Acadiana High School, both seniors, class of 220, have signed to go to West Point Army. Guys, to my left, Dillan Monette. Congratulations, state champions, man.
Thank you, sir.
To your left, your buddy here, Lucky Brooks, also state champion in Class 5A. I mean, everybody talks about LSU going 15-0, but y'all are the most underrated 15-0 in the state. I mean, that's a hard schedule, right, Dillan?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is.
When did you know this team would be special? How many games within the senior season?
I would say after week 3, whenever we played the first 3 teams that were really good, Karen Crow, Ruston, then LCA, I pretty much had a,
It's like we've got something here.
Right. We can work with something. So
Keontae Williams, who's not here, your quarterback's a senior. He was like another running back too. And then Lucky here, when you didn't have it, Lucky was breaking long runs.
Right.
Then there was some other young backs. Good defense, a lot of defense coming back.
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
The line's going to be back. What's your forecast for the future, Acadiana? Y'all going to be off playing college ball, but
for the future, I see, the same hungry guys. Right after we won the state championship, the very next week, those guys were hungry and ready to start working out again, ready to start preparing for the next season. It's just our culture.
Lucky, when you enroll at West Point with your boy here, Dillan, you going to keep up with Acadiana? You going to stay on these guys?
Well, I'm for sure going to keep up, and I expect a lot of those guys to be going D1 just like us.
Keep the tradition going,
yes,
right?
Sir.
You're going to stay on them, text them, and
I'm going to make sure they're doing that.
Do what they need to do, especially the running backs, right?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
They got to keep it going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because just as all like the guys before us pass it down to us, we got to make sure we do the same.
There's been several state championships at Acadiana back when Ted Davison was coach. Now you got Matt McCullough, who's a great young coach. But how often did y'all stare at those old plaques in the school, all those old state titles?
Every time we pass through the hallway.
Yep.
To remind you.
Yes, sir.
Any favorite players over the years, just looking at who came out of there? Lucky, anybody that?
Some guys that had like the greatest impact on me. First off, Braylon Trahon, who goes to UL now, plays DB. And of course, Ziggy Francis. He was one of those guys that kind of like taught me the offense and made sure I was on my P's and Q's.
Dylan, what about you? Anybody you looked at all those trophies in the trophy case at school and say, I want to be that guy?
Well, my very own cousin, Kevin Moore, he was a
good player too.
He was a part of that back-to-back state.
Quarterback linebacker, right?
He was a leader, and that just runs in our family. So I felt like, that's a great person to look up to, and also Braylon and Ziggy as well.
So what does this team coming back have to do to win a state title, Dylan? What do you think they have to do?
Stay focused and understand that, there's going to be tough games. When we face adversity, you got to keep going. You got to believe in each other, because without each other, you can't go anywhere.
We've got some highlights. We're going to start with Dylan, then we've got some highlights with Lucky. But let's go ahead and show Acadiana's Dillan Monette. You did everything, not just a run. You and Lucky did return kickoffs. I mean, here's you returning a kickoff, and you're the starting running back. And you were able to get through a season without a serious injury. I know you had some bumps and bruises, but what's it like having to go return a 100-yard kickoff and you got to go back in and do this? You got to be in shape, huh?
Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
This is against, I think, is that Sam Houston High School out of Lake Charles. Every team y'all played had big D lines. Lucky, I mean, what team did you thought was the best D line? Every week it was a big D line.
Well, based off of that, it would be like my offensive line's ability to move them. So air line was pretty much the toughest. That was a real ground and pound.
I think this is South Side here, right? Or Turlings or South Side? I think it's South Side. Yeah. But it's a great little run, man. Showed up. You look like Puka Williams a little bit on that run, man. going across the field, right?
It's one of my favorite players.
You like Puka? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He's now with Kansas.
Right.
Played in Haughtonville. We'll play in the league. And we're going to get some highlights for Lucky Brooks, man, who also had over 2,000 yards the last 2 seasons total. I mean, this is what I think made it work, Lucky, right? I mean, y'all could keep each other fresh. Wasn't on one guy.
This right here is my junior highlight.
Not a bad run. A little burst. I'm sure Army was saying this guy can separate. Here's another, everybody's up on the line, and hey, that's a mistake, right? When you break that initial. Here's another run here. It's going to be, you know, it's power. I mean, it's your man. You got this guy and that guy. You're good at finding the holes, vision. Who you think has the best vision, Lucky, out of you and Dillan? About the same, or?
I wouldn't say either one had better vision. It's just, you know, a quality that running backs have.
Because just, you know, you got 7-man fronts. You gotta pick your poison here.
Yeah, we use our skills to our advantage.
This is a split backfield and allows y'all to go out and be wide outs. Y'all did a good job of that. Great catch and run here, Lucky. It's Ruston High School. Pretty good D-line. They were big.
This right here is that vision that we was just talking about.
I'm sure that Army coach can't wait to have you two guys on campus and compete. And obviously y'all know it's going to be another level.
Yes, sir.
And the older guys are going to, you know, make sure y'all are ready before you play. But I'm excited to put on the Army game at the end of the year, and you two guys are going to be on the team. That's 2 Louisiana's own. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to mention, Dillan? Any shout-outs to family or friends?
Well, first and foremost, I want to shout out, you know, my dad, my mom, my little brother, and my cousin Kevin. Anyone who's ever motivated me and kept my head straight, you know, and just told me to keep believing.
Lucky?
All of my support. First off, my mom for instilling God in me, making sure, you know, I'm believing in my faith, and then my brother who really started me with all of my sports and everything, making sure I did the right thing in the classroom, and because he actually played at Northwestern. He was a DB.
Go Army, man.
Yes,
West
sir.
Point. Strap them on. Y'all going to be there before you know it this summer, right?
Yes, sir.
Good luck to you guys.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy watching you the last 2-3 years. Thanks to everybody on the show today. Coach Matt McCullough, our head coach Jason Brotherton at Haughton, and also Coach Don Green, Baton Rouge Community College, Dillan Monette, and Lucky Brooks from Acadiana. We'll see you next week.